G'day ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dom here, and also Variant. So this is the first flipper design from DB Blades. It is also our second folding knife design so far. Now because of those two things, and because I'm, let's just say, not entirely great at CAD work, I figured it'd be a great idea to kind of make one of these things by hand before we go ahead and pull the trigger on getting a whole bunch cut out of titanium, and then figuring out, oh my god, this doesn't fit to that, or this doesn't work with this. That sort of stuff. Not like I've done that before or anything, but you know, I figured it'd be a good idea to make one by hand. And that's what we did here. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the next one. So what you just saw me do was get the angle grinder and go zip, 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 just like on this side here, and then try and get as close as I can going sideways and cutting out all those little chunks. So it's okay, it's miserable cutting titanium with an angle grinder, but it works. It does get a bit hot, which is what you see here, and the glue starts to fail. On this side it doesn't matter so much because there's no like tolerances or dimensions on this side. This is the side that's important because it's got the marks for the center punch holes and all that sort of good stuff. So keep cutting this thing out, and we'll get them ready to get ground out to shape. So we've got this thing all marked up, and now it's time to add some center punch marks like you see here to this thing, so we can actually drill these holes where we want them. And for that we use one of these bad boys. Now this is some of the best money you'll ever spend as a knife maker. If you have a look here, you can see there's like a little bullseye. It's kind of hard to pick up. There's like a little bullseye in here. So what you do is you place this over your part, you line it up, you put the punch in there, and give it a whack. So do that again. And that way the center punch marks are exactly where you want them. So we've got both the liners drilled out, and we've got them ground to be identical pairs. Now I've got to separate them and do that with a bit of heat.
And this just breaks the bond on the super glue.
So because this is nitro V steel, it needs a cryogenic treatment to get the most out of the steel. Now there's two main ways guys can do this. The first way and the most common way is people get this big dewar, like this big can of liquid nitrogen, and they'll dunk their blades in there for a bit. And that works and that's great, but the problem with that is the liquid nitrogen evaporates relatively quickly and it can be really expensive to sort of maintain and have this big can always full. Personally, I don't heat treat a lot of stuff here. My heat treat oven is used mostly for prototypes or for one-offs or for teaching. I'd say probably 98% of the knives we actually make are sent out to a professional company, professionally heat treated in a multi-million-dollar facility. This heat treat oven's only for one-offs and, you know, random stuff like that. So in my case, I like to cryogenically treat my steel with dry ice and alcohol. It is a little bit more expensive compared to liquid nitrogen, but you can buy this as you need it. So this is about 11 bucks worth of dry ice. You can see it in there. And what you do is, you mix a bit of alcohol in there, you make like this slurry. And you can see it's bubbling away nicely in there. And then when the knife is ready, we'll dunk it in there and use that to treat our blade. So this step might be a bit hard to explain. What I've done is I've used my milk here and I've relieved my liner. Now what this does is it gives the space and the mechanism space to work. Kind of hard to explain like this, so when I get this all assembled, I'll refer to this again and explain what I mean. But for now, that's what it looks like to relieve the liners. So I'd love to pretend this thing just sort of went together. I did take it apart and put it back together probably 60 times at this point, tuning it, fitting it. That's the pain in the part with folders, but right now it fires like a rocket. Still a little bit of lock stick, but we'll work that out later in the design as we polish everything up. But it's looking cool. so now we're at pretty much one of the final steps, and that's the final assembly. Now I'm fully aware that I've kind of rushed through this build, and that's mostly A, because I'm a YouTuber, and B, when it comes to folders, I really get in the zone and sort of get in the zone of fixing something, or tweaking something or adjusting something, and especially with folders, they really require a lot of adjustment, at least the way I do them. They need a lot of hand fitting to make them work properly. So one of the things I did that I didn't show was I actually epoxied these handles onto the titanium. Then that's mostly to help with the expansion and contraction of the handles, because obviously they are still a natural product. But they slot together pretty easily. Just put your pins in. And there we go. Fires nicely like a rocket. Now there are a few things I'm going to change with these things when I go into the main design. Issue number one is there is a detent hole exposed. When I go to the production version of these, or the production version of these, that will be adjusted a little bit and moved back a little bit. Some of the internals I want to move around with it, and I want to get some change up the skeletonizing on this thing. But that is it. I'm very happy with this new design. We're going to be doing a run of about 10 or 11 of these things. Kind of depends how many you can get on the sheet, but hopefully they go well and you guys like them. I may even do a video of doing the whole run. I'm planning on really laying it out, doing them all at the same time, and seeing if we kind of get them done quicker. I'd love to do a lot more folders in 2021. During 2020, because of COVID and all that, I basically didn't make a single folder the whole year. So yeah, I've been itching to make a few. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll be running through with some beauty shots of this right now. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.